4 months now after crews had reinstalled the Ten Commandments monument on the Capitol grounds, the Satanic Temple came back with their own statue.
The groups rallied for the First Amendment brought Satanist Christians, even the KKK to the Capitol steps. Scarecrow Jess Stewart joining us now live with the message in all of this. Jess?
Yeah, Bob and Ashley, while some were there to protest today, different beliefs mostly came together to say all or none. If the Ten Commandments get to sit on Capitol grounds, so do the statues of their representative religions. Now, the tone did remain respectful. Groups who came up to speak from all different backgrounds were even thanking each other for showing up, except when a Satanist wasn't happy with what a Christian minister was preaching.
I love you too.
The demons in hell! You're a liar! You're a fake! You're a phony!
So you could hear the crowd obviously was not pleased with what he was saying and did support law enforcement escorting the man out. The Baphomet statue sat in the center of the rally, but comments about the lawmaker who spearheaded the push to bring the Ten Commandments to the Capitol took center stage.
Senator Rapert will tell you that our monument is an attack upon Christianity. But then Senator Rapert also once described a gay pride parade as one of the most offensive displays against Christians in an attempt to intimidate people who believe in the Word of God.
It's all about the fake. It's all about the slur. It's all about the slander from these people. They're not serious, and they're not even real.
Hail Satan!
Rapert reiterates how Lucian Greaves, who you just heard from, isn't the man's real name. Rapert says the Christian minister, who you just saw too, has also not identified as a preacher before and was actually planning to run for office against him. The Satanic Temple is now seeking a court order to require the state to install the Baphomet statue on Capitol grounds. Live at the state capitol, I'm Jesse Tenor.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. Unbelievable. As most of you know, I've been covering the Satanic Temple since I started my channel. From the, after-school Satan program, trying to get into schools, counteracting schools that had the Good News Club by bringing in these satanic clubs, to all of this stuff with the Ten Commandments monuments, which have been torn down time and time again in Arkansas. Well, now the Baphomet, the transgendered goat with breasts and a penis statue, has been placed in Arkansas. You can't make it up. Now, it's funny because the Satanists have a huge sign about the First Amendment. And you got to wonder what the Satanist take is then if they're so expressive and vocal about freedom of religion, right? Which, I mean, where do you even begin to even where do you even go from here talking about freedom of religion, where we're talking about a world and a country that accepts Satanism, the worship of this goat? I'm more creeped out or confused by the fact that aren't people like standing there going, what is this thing? When they look at the Baphomet, right, and going, what is this? And them going, well, we're not really Satanists, we're political activists, and, we're trying to, they always bring up gay rights and transgender rights and all this stuff. And of course, like I've said a million times, the main things that they focus on is getting anywhere that there's any type of Christian outpour or Christian organizations, and they go there and then they try to counteract it by saying, oh, well, if there's a monument of Jesus, we're going to bring the monument of Baphomet, right? And they try to sue the state and sue, the God. I mean, it gets ridiculous, right? And the other things they do, of course, is show up at abortion clinics, right? And act like maniacs. Because remember, the things that the Satanists, the real Satanists, because these people are obviously just lower level minions, but they're doing a job. And the job is to start normalizing this, right? Where people are going to go, well, it's only fair if there's going to be a statue of Jesus, we should have a statue of Baphomet, even though nobody even knows what the Baphomet represents. And people don't seem to be creeped out by this gigantic goat man that the people worship. I mean, it makes me want to pull my hair out that people don't even notice it and say, well, what is this thing? Take a look at it. I mean, you're worshiping a goat with breasts and a penis. I mean, should we start there about, you want to start explaining that, and you claim that you don't worship the devil, that you guys are just activists? Shouldn't your logo just be like, maybe a monument of the Constitution or the Bill of Rights or something like that, if that's what you care so much about? But they care, of course, about going to the abortion clinics because, remember, human sacrifice is the key, in Satanism and the black magic rituals. The other thing they do, they go to conventions where anybody who's a victim of satanic ritual abuse and SRA, they go there and they protest and they call them idiots and crazy and say they're making it up and it's a witch hunt. That's what they focus in on. But let's take a look here at the temple, which is now in Arkansas with the goat-headed Baphomet statue. It's supposed to be protest. Now, obviously, I probably have a larger following than the entire Satanic Temple, to be realistic. Right? I mean, I don't have people who follow my channel. I'm talking about views per day and subscribers, probably bigger than the Satanic Temple. So I know I could easily say, "Hey, everybody, there's the statue in Arkansas," but I would never incite violence upon people or the destruction of the monument because I'm not that kind of a guy, am I? No, of course not. But I think it's kind of funny that this is stuff that they talk about. But why aren't the Satanists talking about the fact that free speech online is being taken away? Shouldn't they care about that? Shouldn't they care about the fact that people like myself and many others out there, as many more than me, have gone through numerous YouTube channels and suspensions and all this stuff about free speech and what we can and can't talk about? And like I say many times, if we're crazy conspiracy theorists, then who cares what we say? Right? Let us be in our corner of the world. Oh, because we're such a threat, because we're waking people up to the truth about mind control and the occult. But Satan worshipers turned out to cheer the unveiling of the bronze statue dedicated to the goat-headed winged creature called Baphomet. I would say it's a little bit more than a goat-headed winged creature. It's a tranny goat, to be, perfectly real. The Satanic Temple organization arranged the rally outside the Arkansas State Capitol building to protest a Ten Commandments monument already on the grounds. Although the striking 8.5-foot tall icon was only allowed to be on display temporarily, Satanists argued they should be allowed to erect the winged goat effigy on a permanent basis under freedom of religion rights outlined in the U.S. Constitution. Satanic Arkansas co-founder Ivy Forster, one of the rally organizers, said, "If you're going to have one religious monument up, then it should be open to others. And if you don't agree with that, then let's just not have any at all." The display inspired a counter-protest by Christian activists, while a leading Republican politician in the state condemned the satanic icon as offensive. Not one of Arkansas's legislators responded to a letter sent by the Satanic Temple urging them to make Baphomet a lasting feature in Little Rock. And I guess what's coming of this is, which I said, this is what they do, is they're going to try to sue the state, right? They've been trying to do this, the stuff that I see, they try to sue the states over abortion laws and things like that. Now they'll try to sue it over wanting the Baphomet up. But I'm pretty sure, they only have one of these statues. But I guess they're really the goal for them is to have this statue in front of some Capitol building in the United States of America. And this is just the beginning of the downfall of America. Okay, because this what they want to do is they want us to take away Christianity, and they're already doing that with Bible bannings and removals of Ten Commandments. And the overall goal for these Satanists is to get the Ten Commandments removed again by saying, "Listen, we're threatening to leave up our Baphomet statue if if you don't take down your Ten Commandments statue," right? And then people are going to get on board and they say, "Well, it's only fair if they have that up, then they should have the giant naked goat." Of course, the goat has, two children or a few children looking up at him. I mean, it's really just disgusting. And the state center said it'll be a very cold day in hell before an offensive statue will be forced upon us to be permanently erected on the grounds of the Arkansas State Capitol. Well, let's hope so. A similar Ten Commandment statue was installed on the grounds of the Oklahoma State Capitol, but in 2015, the state Supreme Court ruled it should be removed. Judges decided it violated the state's constitutional ban on the use of state property for religious purposes, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Right? We're going to see them go to all these places that have statues and things up that reference Christianity, reference Jesus. Don't be surprised if they show up outside of, the Oklahoma City bombing where they're the grieving Jesus towers. Don't be surprised if they show up there next and put their Baphomet statue there. These are the things that they look for. This is part of their plan and their operation. Because it is an operation. It's not just what everybody thinks where they go, well, all these guys in the Satanic Temple, all they want is to get on TV and to get on the news. No, they're working for these people, right? They're making it seem like there's no such thing as real Satanists and they're political activists. So they're deceiving the masses into thinking that Satanism and the occult isn't real because these people are well-spoken and they show up in these places and they tell everyone that they're not Satanists, even though it's pretty funny. If you go through their Twitter feeds, you go through their YouTube channels, you can actually see them performing satanic black mass rituals, which is just laughable. But again, they're not Satanists, right? And I can't show you the clips because I don't feel like getting a copyright strike. But I mean, laughable stuff that they tell you that, and then you could go look for yourself. But everybody believes what everybody else has to say, right? They just go, oh, yeah, he says he's not, so he's not. But their logo is the Baphomet and the upside down pentagram. I mean, you can't make it up. It is laughable. But again, the goal here, what they're going to keep doing, is going to all of these places, all of these institutions, all of these schools that have any type of Christian, and listen, they're not going to target anything that has anything to do other than Christianity. They're not going to look at any other religions, just places where it's Christians, or Christianity is being promoted, or Jesus is being promoted, or the Bible is being promoted. And they're going to keep threatening to leave the Baphomet statue up. The funny part is, like I said, I don't think they have the money to make another Baphomet statue, although obviously there's people above them who support them. Because, I mean, who knows how these people are making any income at all, right? And doing this on a regular basis, going around parading to these events. But I don't think they can even afford to leave the statue there. So it's all just intimidation and threats and then legal action so that they can get what they want. They get a lawyer to work for them pro bono, right? The lawyer gets done what they want to get done, which is to take down anything pertaining to Christianity, and that's how they continue to strip Christianity from the United States of America. It's as simple as that. So the Satanic Temple gets their Baphomet goat up in Arkansas. People will be protesting, but try to understand what what they're trying to do here. It's almost like you might as well just call their bluff back, But I mean, it's either way, it's a lose-lose situation, because if you call their bluff back and they really leave the Baphomet statue up, I mean, let's be realistic. 50 years down the line, the Baphomet statue will probably be outside the White House and every other Capitol building and every state in the country. Just absolutely unbelievable. I can't believe I'm alive to actually witness this stuff and see how ridiculous it all is. It really is insane. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.